Is there anything more exciting than seeing characters from your favorite TV series come to life? We don't think so. And these 10 Ben 10 Ultra fans definitely agree. So if you've ever wondered what SpiderMonkey would look like in real life, make sure to stick around until the end of the video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more videos like this, and give this video a big thumbs up. Now join us as we take a look at 10 Ben 10 aliens in real life. Wildmutt. There are not many things in the world cuter than dogs. These furry creatures really have it all. A swinging tail, tons of energy, and a human-like sense of companionship that makes them the perfect pet. While we would be tempted to call Wildmutt a dog, he is actually missing a few too many attributes to be really considered one. For example, did you know that this little guy does not have any eyes? Since he does not have ordinary vision, he is forced to rely on other ways of orienting himself. One way that he gets around is using a sort of thermomap, a dull 3D map based on where his senses originate. Pretty cool, right? Even more crazy is Wildmutt's sense of smell. Given that he has no visible nose, you might be a little confused as to how he has the ability to smell at all. Well, it turns out that Wildmutt actually has 3 gill-like appendages on his head that act as his sensory receptors. Using these gills, Wildmutt is able to track down almost anything, simply based on its scent. One artist, XX made an extremely lifelike version of Wildmutt, and boy did he do an absolutely incredible job. You can tell that the artist behind it is a true Ben 10 fan, because he took the time and care to include Wildmutt's invaluable 3 gills. Talk about attention to detail. Forearms. If you don't mind, please take a second to look down at your arms and consider how valuable they are to your everyday life. Seriously, think about all the times you've used them to grab boxes of cereal, tie your shoe, or even make a nice French omelet. Now, think about how off-the-wall awesome it would be to have 2 more of them. Well, welcome to the life of one of our favorite Ben 10 characters, Forearms. Beyond his extra grabbers, this humanoid alien is just all-around impressive. He's got 2 pairs of eyes, bright red skin, and he's thought to be about 12 feet tall. Wouldn't it be amazing to be 12 feet tall? You'd be able to reach every last fig on the old fig tree, and you could scratch almost any ceiling you wanted. But because of his enormous girth, this big dude is much slower than many of his opponents. Worry not, though, because he's got some pretty top-of-the-line powers to make up for his speed. One of Forearm's awesome abilities is called the Sonic Clap, which would also be a great nickname for a guitar. The artist Simon FX, who rendered Forearms in real life, really captured his ferocity and all of his signature attributes. He's got 4 eyes, 4 arms, and even the black strip running down his face. The details in this piece are downright stunning. Just take a look at those muscles. Diamondhead. Diamonds have a long history that dates as far back as 3,000 years ago in India. Since they were first discovered, these rare jewels have been sought after for their beauty and insane durability. Did you know the word diamond comes from an ancient Greek word meaning unalterable? Well, don't say that to Diamondhead, because he loves changing the shape of his crystalline body. That's right, this green, silicon-based life form has the incredible ability to change his shape at any moment. Diamondhead uses this power in a few different ways. First of all, he uses this ability to quickly create awesome fighting gear. For example, blades and bludgeons. He also turns crystals into shields, walls, and ramps that assist him in any battle he may encounter. Oh, and did we mention that he can also create and shoot projectile crystals at a moment's notice? Well, yeah, he can. Not only can Diamondhead create all this from scratch, but his prism-like body is actually able to diffuse his enemies' lasers and other similar weapons. Pretty epic. This tough guy isn't without his weaknesses, though. He can chip and crack pretty easily. With a fighter this intense, it definitely isn't easy to find a real-life doppelganger to do him justice. But we think we found a pretty good one. Equipped with refracting diamond skin and the signature spike on his head, this Diamondhead is as close to real as can be. Ghostfreak. Is there anything more downright spooky than a real-live ghost? Well, Ghostfreak certainly gets close. This phantom-like alien is as scary as can be, with a gaseous appearance and some big old claw hands. It must be hard to do delicate things with those big old claw hands. Imagine trying to shell navy beans, sew a small button onto your favorite blouse, or grab just a pinch of salt with those long fingers. As difficult as these hands might be, Ghostfreak manages to get along just fine by using his other powers. Being nearly as light as air, this ghostly guy has the amazing ability to fly. So jealous! When he's not flying, you might find him, or not find him, using his power of invisibility. As you learn more and more about this character, you can't help but realize just how special he is. Unlike anyone we've ever met, Ghostfreak's skin is actually removable. Underneath his skin, he's got some pretty intense tentacles. As you can tell, this is one scary dude. We thought it would be impossible to find someone that could fully capture all of the amazingness that is Ghostfreak. Then we found Lilix. Lilix is an incredible cosplayer that created an even more incredible Ghostfreak costume. She's got long, spidery claws, wispy skin and cloak, and some spooky striped tights. She must have taken a long time to put this little gem together. Heatblast. Have you ever heard the expression, if you can't stand the heat, then you better get out of this kitchen? Well, it might be better to say, if you can't stand the heat, you'd better not mess with Heatblast. Yes, this next character is the hottest alien on the list. Mainly because he's actually made of magma. That is a spicy meatball and a spicy dish overall. Outside of the liquid magma that runs bright yellow throughout his body, Heatblast is covered with red rocks. Unsurprisingly, this epic character has the ability to control fire. Can you say the perfect piece of toast? Beyond his trademark pyrokinesis, Heatblast has a few powerful tricks up his sleeve. Given that he's made of fire, he is also totally immune to fire. This power, combined with his ability to fly, would definitely make Heatblast the best professional firefighter around. No matter how powerful he might be, everybody has their weaknesses. Although you might not expect it, Heatblast is actually immune to ice and to the cold. Water, on the other hand, is his only weakness. When Heatblast is surrounded by an overwhelming amount of water, he can temporarily lose his heat. You know who never loses his heat? This little boy that dressed up as Heatblast never loses his heat. And what's more, he's come up with a complete costume. This young man has Heatblast's scorching mask, his lava-filled body, and even the red rocks. This kid is bringing some serious warmth. Accelerate. One of the coolest aliens from the television series Ben 10 has got to be the one and only Accelerate. Not only is he the coolest, but he's also one of the fastest aliens around. We have to imagine that his speed was the inspiration for his very clever name. This blue dude can react and think at superhuman speeds, simultaneously considering thousands of different options at once. Accelerate can also move extremely fast. In fact, he's been known to travel at speeds up to 500 miles per hour, which is faster than almost any car. He moves with such incredible velocity that he is also able to run across water, which is an invaluable ability that he uses to catch enemies of all types. One of the first things you might notice about Accelerate is his physical appearance. At first glance, this cool dude resembles a sort of semi-armored velociraptor. Unlike normal velociraptors, however, he's got black wheels on his feet that allow him to reach insane speeds. Being the responsible alien that he is, Accelerate always wears his trusty helmet. Better safe than sorry. We've got two different real-life versions of Accelerate to show you today. This first one was obviously made by and for someone a bit younger, as the costume is quite ill-fitting. The second version, however, is absolutely spot on. This costume, made by cosplayer Helky3, has got it all. The bright blue skin, the tail, and even Accelerate's signature wheels. Gray matter. One of the lessons we learn over and over again is not to judge a book by its cover. Well, you had better get ready to learn it all over again, because our next alien is not quite what he seems. On first sight, it seems like gray matter would be the weakest alien of them all. Let's face it, he's actually pretty small, and he also looks like a frog. The only frog we've ever been afraid of was the old mascot for the WB. But if you look a bit closer, you'll see that this little guy actually has some pretty intimidating features. Most importantly, he's got some extremely sharp teeth that can bite through almost anything. Beyond that, gray matter is also amphibious, which means he can use his gills to breathe underwater. You bet that comes in handy. Looks aside, gray matter has a lot going on underneath the hood. Did we mention that he's basically a genius? Well, he is, and because of that, he often plays the role of problem solver in Ben 10. That's right. What he may lack in brute force, gray matter definitely makes up for it with his cunning intellect and strategic mind. We're so excited to find this live-action version of gray matter. The first thing you may notice about this picture is how well it represents the frog-like alien size. Based on this depiction, gray matter is hardly any bigger than an everyday styrofoam cup. With an alien that small, he's lucky to be so smart. Ben Tennyson. Although we are mainly focused on aliens today, it would be silly not to talk a little bit about the star of the show, Ben Tennyson. Ben was just an ordinary 10-year-old boy until he found a piece of technology that would change his life forever. This piece of technology was, of course, the Omnitrix. The Omnitrix is a watch-like device that gives Ben the ability to turn into 10 different aliens. Pretty incredible technology for such a young man, right? Ben's age is actually an important part of his personality. Like any 10-year-old, Ben absolutely loves to have fun and totally hates any sort of cleaning. Like many kids his age, he often floats through the world in a clumsy or reckless manner. While he mostly uses the Omnitrix to fight evil, don't be surprised if you catch him using it for personal reasons too. In all fairness, who could blame him? If we had a watch like that, we'd be turning into aliens like it was nobody's business. One downside of the Omnitrix, however, is that once Ben assumes a new alien form, he also assumes that alien's weakness. But hey, nothing's perfect. One thing that's near perfect, though, is this cosplayer's representation of Ben's outfit. Seriously, this cosplayer named Diamondhead totally nailed it. He's got the watch, the jacket, and even the badge. Now let's see if he can turn into some awesome aliens. Swampfire. What's partially red, totally awesome, and has the ability to control plants? The sun is all of those things, kind of, but in this case, we're talking about one of our favorite aliens from the Ben 10 series, Swampfire. Yes, this humanoid, plant-like alien has some pretty incredible skills. For example, did you know that he is actually able to control plant matter? This ability, called chlorokinesis, takes many different forms throughout the series. In one episode, we might find Swampfire telepathically communicating with plants, using his mind to make them grow, and creating organic matter seemingly out of nowhere. In another episode, you might find him projecting seeds and gases at any one of his opponents. If we had these incredible skills, we'd definitely take up gardening. Just think of all the rich, meaty tomatoes he could grow. Beyond chlorokinesis, Swampfire has the power to ignite methane in his palms, which creates his very own flamethrower. He's also able to use this methane as a form of propulsion, taking temporary flight at a moment's notice. With all these amazing abilities, you might be wondering what Swampfire's weakness is. Well, like almost all plant matter, this alien is susceptible to being frozen. An alien this awesome definitely needs a totally rocking doppelganger. And we've found just the match. Check out this real-life version of Swampfire, pictured here with 4 arms. This costume work might be the most in-depth of them all, don't you think? From head to toe, whoever put this outfit together did not miss a single detail. SpiderMonkey. If you were going to think of the scariest animal combinations, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Perhaps you think of a lion shark, or maybe even a donkey cat? Well, don't waste one more brain cell thinking about it, because we've got the ultimate combo, the SpiderMonkey. Believe it or not, spider monkeys do exist in the wild. But the version featured in Ben 10 is even more unbelievable. Even from first glance, you can tell that this 4-armed alien has a lot going on. Besides his bright blue color, the next thing you might notice about SpiderMonkey is that he has 4 green eyes. This attribute, combined with his extremely versatile tail, makes this furry alien extremely agile. In fact, did you know that SpiderMonkey can actually create webs using his tail? As if that wasn't cool enough, he can also stick to and scale vertical surfaces. With a name like SpiderMonkey, what else do you expect? This alien is so cool that one young kid decided to dress up like him. This costume is totally wicked, and it's got everything you'd want out of a SpiderMonkey doppelganger. Not only does it have the alien's signature 4 arms, but it also includes multiple pairs of eyes and the recognizable Omnitrix symbol. This kid must be the most popular guy on the block. Is there a Ben 10 alien that you'd like to see in real life? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching!